In the wake of the once cataclysmic fall, the heavens convulsed as a divine pantheon sprang forth from the celestial vault. New gods, forged in the fires of creation, surged forth, each staking their claim to the infinite expanse of reality. The firmament itself trembled as if in fear under the tumultuous discord of these gods. The universe, once a serene expanse of tranquil order, began to spiral, caught in the thrall of an escalating tempest of chaos. In this maelstrom of celestial unrest, amidst the clamor of gods and the upheaval of creation, a solitary figure emerged as an indomitable monolith. This was Obsidian, the Immutable Sentinel of Order. His countenance, unyielding as a mountain against the tempest, was a beacon amidst the storm. As chaos roared and raged around him, Obsidian stood resolute, a solitary sentinel, offering sanctuary and guidance. His very presence was a promise, a vow of order, security, and virtue amidst the tumultuous uncertainty. In the beginning, our exalted Obsidian, draped in his celestial wisdom, extended a gesture of reconciliation to his divine brethren. His words, echoing through the vaults of creation, carried a plea for unity, a proposal for compromise, a path to orchestrate the cacophonous cosmos into a symphony of harmony. However, his divine brethren, drunk on their newfound power and blinded by their pride, mocked his plea for peace. They scorned his offerings, and in their hubris chose to bathe in the chaotic maelstrom rather than seek the tranquil respite he offered. Yet their rejection did not deter our divine Obsidian. Instead, it served as a catalyst, a divine revelation that seared through his celestial consciousness. With a heavy heart, but an unwavering resolve, Obsidian grasped the harsh reality that order is not gently coaxed into being by whispered words, but forged in the crucible of authority. The wild, untamed cosmos could only be harnessed under the firm hand of dominion, and true serenity could only bloom in the meticulously maintained garden of control. Thus, Obsidian, resplendent in his divine wisdom, set forth to carve order into the heart of chaos. His unwavering resolve was his compass, his firm hand his tool. With every stroke, with every act of his divine will, he sowed the seeds of control, taming the wild cosmos and setting the stage for a divine order that would usher in an era of peace amidst the turbulence of creation. From the crucible of divine revelation, the Obsidian Covenant was wrought, a hallowed doctrine of meticulous order and steadfast discipline. This sacred covenant, destined to shepherd the sprawling cosmos towards an epoch of unparalleled peace, emerged as an invincible bulwark against the incessant deluge of chaos. It stood as a testament to Obsidian's divine resolve, his unwavering commitment to transform the storm-tossed seas of chaos into a tranquil lake of harmony. His teachings, a beacon gleaming amidst the twilight of uncertainty, illumine the path that guides all of creation towards unity. The Doctrine of Obsidian, radiant with the light of divine wisdom, meticulously charts the course towards a future resplendent in order and virtue. His justice, as implacable and swift as a tempest, arises not from a desire for retribution, but springs forth from a deep well of divine love, its gaze forever fixed on the collective betterment of all creation. In Obsidian's embrace, we encounter not the sting of harshness, but the warmth of compassion. His divine hand, firm yet benevolent, guides us not with the sole purpose of imposing punitive measures, but with the nurturing intent of a divine gardener, carefully tending to his cosmic garden. His actions, seemingly stern, are infused with care and concern, like a smith tempering steel, hardening it to resist the ravages of time and tribulation. For Obsidian's grand aim is an ordered cosmos, a harmonious orchestration of celestial bodies and souls alike, a symphony resonating with the song of peace and unity. His vision is one where all of creation may flourish in an era of tranquility, each note, each beat, each entity dancing to the rhythm of his divine order. Under his benevolent rule, we are not subjects, but cherished participants in the sacred dance of existence, united in peace, guided by his hand towards a destiny illuminated by the beacon of his divine wisdom. In the realm that we traverse, the very soil beneath our feet is marred by the detestable scars of insatiable greed and the ravaging pestilence of hatred, a virulent hatred that surges forth from the hearts of men, hardened by the cruel cycles of deceit and countless betrayals, a hatred that, like a corrosive acid, poisons the sacred springs of kinship and progressively erodes the sturdy bonds of fellowship, the very cornerstone of communal existence. These verdant meadows, once an emblem of serenity, and the towering crags a symbol of unyielding resilience, are now mere pawns, subjected to the capricious whims and calculated machinations of so-called kings and queens. These individuals, who position themselves as divine emissaries, usurping the divine right that is not theirs to claim, feast ravenously on the faith of their unsuspecting subjects. They drain the populace of their hard-earned wealth and strip them of their existential essence. Their actions a grotesque mockery of the divine order. These self-proclaimed monarchs artfully weave a perfidious tapestry of divinity around their vacuous crowns, claiming a divine mandate that exists only in the labyrinth of their deceitful rhetoric. They are untouched by the hand of a true God. Instead, they choose to deify their inflated egos, adopting their self-righteousness as their only creed. Their faith is tethered to a tarnished fraying thread tied to ancient forgotten deities, cynically exploiting this frail and tenuous connection as a conduit to drain the vitality of their subjects, mercilessly siphoning away their spiritual essence. On the exhalation of the final breath, the citizens who once pulsed with vibrant life are reduced to mere hollowed husks, mere shadows of their former celestial glory. Deprived of their spiritual vigor, they pass into the eternal ether, cruelly robbed of the divine luminescence that should have guided their ascension towards the celestial plane. These mortal souls, once radiant beacons of potential, are prematurely extinguished, their incandescent light dimmed by the oppressive reign of these ersatz sovereigns. They depart, leaving behind a world ensnared in the sinister traps of greed and animosity, their legacy a stark, haunting testament to the despotic rule of the false royalty. A realm once teeming with hope and potential now stands as a desolate monument to the depths to which the avaricious can sink, a chilling testament to the decay brought on by unfettered power in the hands of the undeserving. Beyond the sphere of influence of the false kings and queens, in the malignant shadow cast by their twisted thrones, lie entities of an even darker ilk. Hidden in the enigmatic recesses of society, lurking in the forsaken corners of civilization, are vile cults and covens, their existence a festering wound upon the fabric of the world. They are adherents of the lesser deities, the ones cast aside in the wake of Obsidian's celestial truth. These sinister factions gnaw at our society's core, their presence an insidious poison seeping into the sacred soil in which we labor tirelessly to sow the seeds of divine order. These boastful monarchs, for all their transgressions, are at least candid about their sacrilege. Their follies are illuminated in the harsh light of their unholy courts. However, the shadow covens of the world that breathe and disseminate deception, hatred, and discord operate in the clandestine darkness, a sinister specter haunting the forgotten crevices of civilization. They remain concealed, shrouded in a cloak of darkness, their treachery seeping like noxious gas from beneath the veneer of normality. Beware, O faithful of Obsidian, of those who speak ill of our divine Lord. Guard your hearts and minds against the seditious whispers that challenge his divine sovereignty. Any word, any thought that contradicts his divine decree is but heresy, vile lies spun by the weavers of deceit. They are like insidious vermin burrowing into your minds, infesting your thoughts with treacherous doubts. These lies are a virulent disease, an affliction that threatens to devour the sanctity of your faith. This insidious malady, once implanted, spreads like wildfire, consuming the purity of belief, transforming it into ashes of doubt. Its remedy, as harsh as it might seem, is the purging flame of divine truth. It is the divine light of Obsidian that can incinerate the pestilence of falsehood, restoring the sanctity of faith and reaffirming the divine bond between Obsidian and his faithful followers. Hold fast to your faith, for in the presence of Obsidian's divine radiance, the darkness of heresy cannot endure. Finally, dear faithful of Obsidian, be on guard against the monstrous entities that lurk beneath the crust of our world and in the icy silence of its loftiest peaks. These are malevolent beings, spawned from the primeval evils that long preceded our existence. They are abhorrent creatures born of pestilence, embodiments of pure hatred, grotesque anomalies that profane the sacred order of creation. These creatures, my children, are the enemies of the path. They are stubbornly blind to the divine illumination of Obsidian's truth, wallowing in their festering ignorance. They are akin to rocks, incapable of movement, incapable of progress, stuck in the dread abyss of their own darkness. Their existence is an affront to Obsidian's grand design, a malignant blot on the canvas of creation that must be cleansed. These beasts do not merely resist the holy light of Obsidian, they recoil from it, for they are beings born of shadows and malevolence. They are incompatible with the searing purity of Obsidian's holy glory, incapable of basking in its divine radiance. Yet they must be brought forth into this light. They must be made to face the holy flame, for it is only in the purifying fires of Obsidian's wrath that their unholy existence can be obliterated. For the sake of all creation, we must strive to rid the world of these aberrations. They are a blight, a cancer that ravages the purity of nature. It is our holy duty as disciples of Obsidian to act as his cleansing flames, to wage war against these grotesque creatures until every last one of them is no more. It is a daunting task, but remember, dear faithful, that we are not alone. In this holy endeavor, we are guided by the unwavering hand of Obsidian himself. In his divine light we shall prevail, and in his holy name the world shall be cleansed.